Welcome back to the program. As Nigeria turns 54, we have improved in so many areas, but we still need to work on many more areas, and one of those areas is the education sector. A lot of people believe our unemployment rate today and some of the problems we're having in the country is deeply rooted in the problem of, I don't want to use the word bad education, but similarly so. Well, as the Nigerian education sector grapples with what many have termed the impossible task of education, many Nigerians lament that 5 decades after independence, Nigeria is still grappling with challenges bordering on what incessant strikes by staff unions over welfare and the state of teaching and learning facilities. It will also bother you that we have never contributed the 26% UNESCO has asked us to allocate in our budget since independence. It goes 7%, comes back to as low as 0.6%, and the story goes on and on. We have in the studio very seasoned educationists. I'm going to start, you would have to allow me to start first with the lady first, the man, I must say. All right, I have to start with...
I'm sorry, I wish you come.
Yeah, Professor.
Okay, now I'm mixing it. I wish you can do.
And I have practiced funny this.
Yeah. Okay, but we're starting with the
Absolutely. Prof. Okay, so we would have to start with Professor Abiola Awoshika. She's rector Olawe Awoshika School of Innovative Studies. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
And then right my left is Mr. Dele Owolowo. He's an educationist. He's an educationist. And now let's get started with the conversation, which probably we would try to do justice to it. It's a part I'm very passionate about. Let me start with Professor. Do we need to change our school curriculum?
Absolutely.
How?
The simple answer to that is yes. Because we're turning out graduates that are not, if I may use the word, fit for purpose. We want to be global in everything, the 2020 vision. What we have now is not going to get us there. When you find university graduates who cannot do what they claim to have studied for once they get to the real world, that's an issue. When employers find these graduates unemployable, you ask a graduate to write just a few paragraphs about a good day in their lives, and they sit there for like 45 minutes, can't put pen to paper. We have problems. When we have people who can spout the theory but can't do the stuff, we have a problem. Elect graduates have never seen a breadboard before. The most basic thing for you to connect is circuit, and it only costs 100 naira. I know, it's in Nigeria. And nobody brought it to their classroom. Nobody wrote it into their curriculum that this is where you start. Then we have a problem. And it's not just at the tertiary level. It has to start from crash. Neuroscientists have shown that the brain of a newborn is 25% developed. By the time they're 2, it's 75%.
Okay.
And so that's when we need to grab them,
right, and
put whatever we need to put in them. And so our curriculum has to take into account these developmental things. The child who doesn't have, who has challenges, how do we take care of them in our curriculum? History is taken out of our curriculum. If you don't know where you've been, you probably won't know where you're going. So what are we doing with the sciences? Research? Are the schools equipped enough so that students have hands-on preparation for the skill sets that are required for employment?
Can you, both of us, can we try and define education first? Because education has been restricted to what we learn in the four walls of a classroom.
Well, I actually talk about being streetwise. That is education. I had a friend. I think she must have gone to maybe primary 3 or primary 4, the old school system.
Right.
And I met her in England. But when my friend sits down with you and she talks about business, you would think she was a business graduate, but she learnt on the streets with her mom, with the traders around her. She knows her way around so many things. That's education, and we cannot belittle that. The problem we have today is we're now enclosed family units. Now I'm afraid to let my child take the bus and go down the road. Just get to know how to maneuver yourself in life, real life. And so we don't let our children do that anymore. And so we're shortchanging them. There are some things that you learn, and that my brother would say when you've been had. My brother would say, "Out to some war, go." So there are certain things that you learn by being with family, by being with grown-ups. You find that someone who grew up with a grandparent is actually much wiser.
Yeah, they say they're more smarter.
They get
they're
some
smarter.
smarts that they get from, and it's not in the four walls of a classroom.
Okay, let's ask Dele Owolowo. Some people will say that the quality of the environment in which you're taught will affect the quality of the education that you will get. And we look at the quality of the environment in which our students in primary, in nursery, in secondary, some of them under the tree, and some of them no tree, there's sunshine, and they're sweating. And universities where 500 students are cramped into a small room, and some of them looking through the windows to get lectures.
Why are you describing
How
I went to school?
How does that affect quality of students and the graduates that we have?
It does indeed. I was speaking earlier. We had a lengthy conversation with Professor Oshika. I didn't know that was you, actually. I'm very glad to meet you, finally. The quality is a matter, but how do we get the quality? Let's take the education sector itself. Okay? We talk about the quality. Do we even have the quality teachers? I've seen a lot of teachers speak in my line of work, and I just pray for the students that if this is what the teachers, if this is what they're delivering, where are the students going to come from? Now, to buttress something you said earlier while we were having a discussion before the program, I didn't know you were the technical line. Now, the education system we run, I call it disjointed and dysfunctional. There is no way it can advance us. It's not possible. Now, all countries, so far as I know,